Good morning, everyone. Happy Sunday. Here is your fun fact of the day. As we left off last week, Esther has become queen under King Xerxes in all of Persian Empire, and her cousin Mordecai has some favor with the king as well, having helped prevent an assassination attempt. Now, there's this man named Haman. Haman finds favor with the king. The king promotes Haman to second in command. Haman is second only to Xerxes in all of the Persian Empire. And Haman gets this big idea, like, everybody should hail me. I'm the second greatest. Look, Xerxes is a king, I'm not denying that, but look, I am only under him. Everyone else is under me. Bow before me! Mordecai won't have anything to do with this. Mordecai says, really, bro? No, I ain't bowing to you. This makes Haman a little upset. He finds out that Mordecai is Jewish and decides to make a plot against all the Jews as retribution for this disrespect. I'm Haman! I deserve respect! Now, word of this gets out that there's going to be a decree against all Jewish people. Mordecai gets word to Esther and puts a bug in her ear to say, not play this safe. This is not the time for you to sit in the palace and hope things go well. Go to the king, get him to not go with this decree against our people. You know, me, you, and the rest of our people. At some point, it's actually remembered that, oh yeah, Mordecai, you saved the king's life. You get a parade. So they do. Mordecai gets gifts and a parade based on the remembrance of, hey look, he did a good thing for this great king of ours. Now afterwards, Esther comes to the king, pleads for the sake of her own people, and all their lives, and that she reveals that this plan against her and her people and all their lives was plotted out by Haman. King Xerxes has quite enough of this. In the situation, he actually storms out into the balcony to get a breath of fresh air before he takes his judgment. Haman throws himself at Queen Esther, pleading for his life. And when King Xerxes comes back in, here's Haman basically on his wife. And he almost redoubles his anger in this. Takes Haman, and as his punishment for this attempt, has him impaled on a stake in front of his own house. The funny thing is, Haman actually ordered the stake to be put up so that he could put Mordecai on it and have him killed on it. And it ends up being his own demise. Great job, Haman. Great job. And then Queen Esther, doing damage control, begs King Xerxes to overturn an edict that Haman had already gotten sent out under the king's approval against her people. The king does repeal that edict, and Jews actually gain a lot of rights in the Persian Empire through this whole ordeal. So they come out better off than they were at the start of it. A celebration is established in light of all this, and Mordecai is hailed for his greatness even more so than he already was. So this might look terrible in that a young Jewish teenager was taken to be a harlot of the king, that eventually, because the king liked her enough, she becomes queen, and that Mordecai, her cousin, basically loiters outside city gates like a vagabond, and they oppose the second in command of the entire empire. But this all works out for God's people. God made all these people and all these circumstances line up in such a way so that his providence was the only thing that could explain how everything turned out. This wasn't luck, this wasn't chance, this wasn't goodness of people running around, this wasn't people who want to be good but just, fall in hard circumstances. No, this was flat out evil against God's word, and God's will and word prevailed once more, as it always does, and inevitably will. Though God is not mentioned specifically by name in the entire book of Esther, his providence is absolutely unmissable if you simply think about it for just a minute. Thank you for joining me for this fun fact of the day. See you again soon.